Coach, you've been at this point as a player and beyond it, first time here in this league, at this point in the cusp of the title game. How would you compare and contrast it as a player and as a coach?
Starting with the tough ones right away. I love coaching. Look, I've said this before. I'm proud of the career that I had as a player. I loved every second. But the part of coaching, the part of it being even more about the group and more about doing everything you can to help others, help the players, help make it all with how you lead, with how you engage them, with how you talk, with how you push them, trying to make it all better every single day. That part of look, I'm a young coach, but I'm loving every second of it. So yeah, hard to answer exactly, but the part of standing on the sideline on a night like tonight and watching a group of guys push a game like that in the second half and continue to play, continue to push, continue to try to play football, make chances, win the ball back quickly, put out fires, do it over and over and over again, and not get frustrated when the equalizer didn't come right away, but to just keep going and keep playing football in the way that we work on every single day. That's a good feeling.
Go to Mark. Coach, they gave you a good fight tonight. You're down 1-0 at halftime. Talk to us about the attitude of the team coming off after the first half and what in your mind was different, made the difference tonight.
Philadelphia are a really good team. They had a great season. I know Ryan Richter well. He and I played together in Toronto for a year, and he has done a really, really good job. And so we knew it was going to be a really hard game. The game started and it was, they came with energy and they were doing the things that they're good at. Some set pieces, obviously with their group, they're a challenge to deal with on set pieces in terms of their height and their athleticism. But I thought once we got to about 10 minutes, then we settled in a pretty good way, and we weren't necessarily at our best, but we still had, the game was on our terms. And then obviously they make a play at the end of the half to go up 1-0. And so we came in at halftime and just kind of, we showed 2 clips from the first half and just kind of reminded guys to calm down a little bit, that they're a team that presses, and we know that they're gonna come and try to make the game hard, but we can still shift ourselves down a little bit and find ways to, even in a fast game, play our football, take the right touch, make the right pass, play in tight spaces a little quicker, a little more confidence, and in the second half, we from the first whistle really pushed the game. We found good ways to push the tempo of the game, but did it with control, and did it by playing football and by doing all the things that make us a good team. And so that part was great. And then obviously, look, Roald scores 2 really, really, really good goals. And so that part, when you play big games, then you need guys to be able to make big plays. And so Roald came through in a huge way.
Move on to Dan.
Michael, that first half, it seemed like the team was adjusting to the field being a bit more wider, playing on grass for the first time in a game, or the second time this season in a game. Just that first half, a lot of long balls, but then the second half, you kind of reverted back to what you guys do best and building through the midfield. Just what kind of opened up in that second half for you guys to exploit that?
Yeah, I mean, look, we still try to mix up our passes in good ways. I thought that in the first half, their outside backs were really, really aggressive when we played out to Andy Rojas and Mosquera. And so we talked at halftime actually about trying to be a little bit more dynamic with those guys and not being quite so predictable that in every moment they were just coming back for balls to their feet. That we wanted to still, to your point, find ways to play in the midfield, find ways to connect passes, and then get those guys on the move going forward and really take advantage of their qualities in those ways. And so, I thought, again, it's a good team, Philadelphia, a really good team, and the way that they want to play still means that in a game like that there are moments of chaos and there are moments of second balls, and you have to be able to you have to be ready for that. And so in moments of the game, that's just how it's going to look. And I thought we did on the night a really good job of playing that game when we needed to, but then being able to try, really being ready to try to put the game back on our terms as quickly as possible.
Congratulations, coach. Llenar la cartel y para Agenda Fútbol. We saw players like Rafael Mosquera, Mijail Jimenez, and Benedetti shine tonight. How crucial has the Latin and especially Panamanian talent been for your squad in this season?
We're lucky. This is a really, really interesting group of young players. It's a mix of young homegrown players who have come through our academy and who know what New York Red Bull is all about. And then the club has done a really, really good job of bringing in talented young international players to complete the group and to challenge our young homegrown players and to take the level of the group even higher. And so it's a really fun group to work with every day. They're all really into it. They're so hungry and motivated, and look, the young Panamanian players in the group, whether it's Rafa, whether it's Jimenez, whether it's Aymar Modelo, they're all making really, really good progress, and so we're happy to have them with us, and we're going to continue to try to push them forward like we are with all of our young players.
Gary?
Hey, Coach, with just one game left, I think it's a ridiculous journey with you and the players coming in. How does it feel as you as a coach? You said you love coaching. How does it feel now that you're taking this team just one game away from the promised land and showing your coaching chops as well, that you've been able to guide this team, this young group, to the finish line?
Yeah, look, as I said, it's just fun. It's a fun group to work with every day. I'm as a young coach, I'm really lucky to be at a club like Red Bull New York. The structure around me, the people that I work with. It's all set up in a really, really good way. Professionalism, standards, the way that we all work together. It's a lot of fun. And to be clear, Ibra Sakaya did a fantastic job with this group for a bunch of years and for the first 13 games, I think. 13 games of the season, and so he deserves huge credit as well for the way that he laid the groundwork this year, even in the years past, and it's that part is important to recognize, and so look, it's. I'm trying to help these guys every single day, individually, collectively, and as we get to the end of the season and the games all get a little bit bigger, we're enjoying the part of testing ourselves when the stakes get a little bit higher. I think we're learning a lot about ourselves and the group, and we wanna keep going.
Next one, Luke.
Coach, to be back in New Jersey after all these years and now winning and going to the final next weekend, does it mean anything to be in such a prestigious spot as a coach now back in your home state where you spend so much time in?
It does, for sure. I I said it to somebody out on the field. New Jersey soccer circle runs tight. You know, the degrees of separation are really, really close. And so when you're back and, you know, everywhere you look, you know, people that people that you've played with, sons of people that you played for, like, it's just there's so many good football people in this area. And so the part now of being back here and being a part of Red Bull New York, helping these young players, yeah, it's all really special.
Go ahead. Time for 2 more questions. Michael first, go to Zach, and we'll wrap up Batista.
Coach, first of all, congratulations on the win. Big win, obviously. You came in mid-season. You know, it was obviously a little bit of an interesting set of circumstances for you to come in mid-year. But talk to me a little bit. You know, we've seen this team in the postseason really fight for you, really fight for the team. Just talk to me a little bit about how you've gotten them to kind of align with your vision and your philosophy and, you know, fight for the badge in a way.
All the credit goes to them. Like I said, when I stood in front of them the first day and I saw the way that they were looking at me, yeah, I knew I was lucky, you know, because it's a I keep saying it, just a really, really good group of young players. A good group of young men, young professionals, young players. Like they are fun to work with every day. They're so into it. You know, they challenge me in good ways. They bring out the best in me, and so we've had a lot of fun working together. And so, as I said, the part of now when we get to the end of the year and the games all count for a little bit more, it's been really fun to see how the group has responded and the way that they've gone for it. You know, it's easy when the games get big to be a little bit, you know, things can get a little cagey sometimes, and you can get teams and players that are in moments a little bit nervous to make a mistake or a little bit tentative. And the thing that I've said to these guys the last few weeks is, like, no matter what happens, we're gonna go for it, and we're gonna, like, play our football, do all of the things that we work on every single day, try to, from the first second until the last, take the game and score goals and push. And so that part has been really fun to watch.
We'll wrap up with Batista.
Coach, it's been 9 years since New York Red Bulls 2's won a league title. And just to think about, you talk about how fun it is to coach this team. You also talked last week about what it feels like to work so closely with the organization to reward them with this play. Just talk about what it would mean to, you know, not just reward the players, but have this success for a Red Bull organization that prides itself on youth soccer and prides itself on this academy. And just considering the guys who are on that 2016 championship team, like the places they went, what do you think it could mean for these players moving forward?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I think it's the really, really exciting part about Red Bull, about this club, is that we're going to be a club who that gives young players opportunities. You know, we're going to be a club that gives young players in this area opportunities. So for any of the young players that love football and continue to push themselves forward and continue to improve, we want them to know that the opportunity here is, if they can keep moving themselves up, is gonna be there. And you know, you look on the field tonight, and you know, there's a lot of players that have come through our academy. As I said before, complemented by some really talented young international players who have come in and done an incredible job of assimilating themselves into the club, the culture, in every way. But it's what ultimately the club is all about, and it's still the best part about football, is when you give young players an opportunity, and now they they take it in every way. And so yeah, it's when you think about some of the players that were on the team that won the USL championship in 2016 and the places that their careers have gone, then I think it's exciting to think how we can keep pushing some of these guys on.
Thank you, Mike.
Roald, congrats on a fantastic game. Talk to us about each of the goals, how you saw them, and what it means to be playing in the final.
Yeah, I mean, especially in the stadium, it's a really high-stake game. I mean, those 2 goals really meant a lot. We came down from 1-0, so I mean, going in the second half, we just turned up the next gear. So I mean, those 2 goals, very special and behind to playing my game. So played the best of my strength, so I got those 2 goals.
Next one, Dan.
Roald, I thought after if you guys got that first goal to equalize, the second one was coming. Just overall mindset on the pitch of they were sitting back and you guys were pushing and pushing. Just when you scored that second goal, just I saw that celebration. Just talk about the emotions and the relief of that goal.
Yeah, I mean, after that first goal, I mean, I knew it was only up from there. So I mean, that second goal meant a lot as well. I mean, the emotions during that goal was I just didn't know to react. You can tell by the celebration. I was just running around. But I mean, like I said, I played to my strengths, and that's what I got in return.
We'll move to Gary.
It was a physical game throughout. You guys just simply powered right through. Was it more of a patience? You guys sitting back and just, you absorbed the first goal, and then you just knew in the second half you needed, and got it. Was it that? What did the coach talk to you guys in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, first half it was it's pretty tough. I mean, they kind of dominated most of the ball possession and everything else. But I think second half, like I said, we turned the next gear. Michael just told us to calm down, be easy on the ball, and that's what we did. We found Adri, one of our main guys, on the ball, and we just took advantage of that. And look at it resulted in 2-1. So.
We'll go to Luke.
One more game now going into one more game for next weekend. You guys have a full week now to prepare for it. What's your overall mindset going into the final now?
I mean, yeah, just been doing the same thing we've been doing for the past last month. So I mean, just the consistency in training. Everyone just fights in pretty hard. So I mean, we keep the consistency. We should be pretty good for the next game.
We'll Dan, you ready?
Talking about that patience that you guys had in that second half, you guys really didn't have anything working in the second half until you bring that ball down into the box and power it by the goalkeeper. Just talk about the patience of being a striker, just knowing that it only takes one chance to get back in a game.
Yeah, I mean, when you have players as good as my teammates, I mean, you got to expect the ball whenever. But yeah, once Adri played me that second ball, I just knew I was going to be calm in front of goal, and then I took my time and took advantage of the goal.
Mark.
Well, talk about how different it is to play here in Harrison versus in Montclair, the surface, the size of the pitch, and if that caused you guys any challenge the first half.
I don't think it cost us that much of a challenge, but I think in the first half, we're just getting a feel for it. We haven't really had that much experience in here in Harrison, but yeah, it's definitely a difference compared to MSU for sure. Turf, grass, you're always going to feel a difference. The ball moves faster on turf, so I mean, it slowed down a little bit, but I think we got accustomed to it during the second half.
Okay, good. Dan, you ready?
Just overall message for the fans heading into the final. Just one last game for the season, hardware on the line. Just overall message.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting that many fans to turn up, but I mean, that was one heck of a crowd, and one crowd I'd never experienced. So I mean, thanks to all the fans that popped out. So I mean, it means a lot.
We have time for 2 more questions. Roald, if you guys have any. Yep, we'll talk.
It's a 3-game scoring streak in the playoffs for you. What about this competition just makes you live up to these moments, and just how does that feel to put something like that together?
I mean, yeah, going into a final, I mean, I was going to feel those emotions. So, I mean, I think I just need to keep doing what I'm doing in front of net, holding up the ball, all aspects of a striker. So I think I should be pretty good up and leading into that next game.
One more question.
Adri, as the captain of this team, I mean, you've grinded the whole season to get to this point. You're now in the final. Just overall emotions of getting to this point.
Nah, yeah, it's a surreal feeling. The work we've put in all season, it just comes to play in the games, and we've proved it all season that we can be here and we deserve to be here, and job's not finished, so we have one more game and we're gonna give everything we have.
Can you talk about Coach Michael Bradley? Obviously, he put a lot of trust into you early into the season when he took over in the middle, gave you the captain's band and all that. How has he helped you grow as a player?
Yeah, I remember his first training session, his first week, he was always giving me tips, on how I can be a better player, obviously, and a better leader, and just taking on that role. And I really thank him for that, and Ibra as well. But just him giving me that trust that I can lead this team it's a great experience for me in the future.
Go to Gary.
Up until this point, like you said, you proved that you're one of the best teams in the conference. Your job's not done. Is that the mentality that you have for the rest of your teammates, knowing that you reached this level, but you still got some place to go?
Yeah, that definitely. I mean, we're gonna really enjoy this one. Celebrate it for the next 1 or 2 days. But after that, it's back to work for the rest of the week, building up to whoever we play, whether it's Colorado or Minnesota.
Next we'll go to Mark.
Adri, this Philadelphia team gave you everything that you guys could handle. They came out really quick. It took you a little while to work your way into the game. Talk to us a little bit about what was different in the second half, getting those balls to roll so you could finish, and how you grew in the game.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I think everybody in general, we all had to just, get a little bit of a feeling for the game. The first 10, 15 minutes, it was a lot of chaos. That's how Philly play. And we knew that was going to happen coming to the match. But, the second half, everybody's mind just shifted. Like, you can see they couldn't even get into our half for like 25 minutes. And you could see that we kept pushing the game. When we missed a chance, we kept going next one. And then we got the 2 goals from Roald. That was really individual. Really good play from him.
Move on, Dan.
It was a dogfight tonight, especially on the wings with Rafa and Andy. Just talk about this being a derby with the second team, with the academy, playing against Philly. Going into the game with this mentality of you guys got to grind and fight through everything. Just how did you guys get to that point in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, through all the age groups, I played Philly through all my age groups with the academy and up to now, and it's always a battle. It's always gonna be so much chaos. You always have to be ready to fight, compete for first balls, second balls, and going into this match, we were prepared, we were ready. Again, obviously the first 10, 15 minutes, they came out flying, and we didn't really expect them to come out that hard, but we got used to it, we grew into the game, and then again, we kept fighting, we kept competing with them. You could see a lot of scrappiness at the end of the match, but we just kept pushing, and then we obviously got the win.
We'll go on to Zach.
Adri, as a New York native, you've really grown up with the team. Talk to me a little bit about how it feels for you to be able to beat a rival like the Union. Again, you grew up in New York City. It must be an awesome feeling for you to be able to beat the Union and now move on to MLS Next Pro Cup as well.
Yeah. I mean, in the first team stadium, in an Eastern Conference final against our rival, it's just such a special feeling when you're playing a team like Philly, our rival, and especially when you win. Everybody gets that little like feeling that we can keep going, and again for me, whenever I played Philly in the academy up to now, it's just always a great feeling whenever you win against them.
We'll go on to Sean.
Just your experience throughout the game, at what point did you realize, hey, we may actually win this game? Was it right after the goal? Was it basically as time expired? When did it really hit you where this could be it?
No, I mean, right after their goal, there was a mentality change, and going into the second half, we knew that we needed at least one, and we got the second, obviously, but everybody's mindset just changed, and, there was a different push and different feeling into the game. So, every time we had the ball, we looked threatening. Every time we lost the ball, counter-pressing was there, and, everybody did their job. Everybody gave 120% in the second half.
Move on to Batista.
Can you talk about the fan support tonight? And also, did you have anyone in the stands tonight, family, friends that you want to shout out and what it meant to play in front of them like this in a game like this?
Yeah. First of all, I really appreciate all those fans coming out to our game, in our stadium, in our first team stadium especially. I honestly didn't expect this many fans, but, it's great for them, to come out to support us, to show that they care. And, we did it for them. We did it for everybody that, supports Red Bulls and everybody in the, Red Bull community. And then, of course, I had my family there, they were supporting me, my mom, my dad, my sister, my relatives. And, I was so happy because I did it for them as well because, they've they've made me who I am today and where I am today.
We have time for 2 more questions. Audrey, first go to Dan. We'll wrap up with Mark.
Adri, that first half, you guys seemed to play a lot more long balls into the offensive half. In the second half, you kind of reverted back to what's gotten you to this point, building through the midfield. Just what was the talk at halftime, and how did you guys kind of excel in that point where you started going through the midfield?
Yeah, in the first half, I think we could have been a little bit more brave with the ball. Like you said, that's been working for us all season, and we shouldn't have, changed what's been working for us. But again, in the second half, the message was be brave, play our football, get in their half, create chances, be brave to go at guys 1v1, and again, when we play our football the way we play it, honestly, I don't think anybody can stop us. So.
We'll wrap up with Mark.
Audrey, with Aiden away with the U.S. national team, a lot of weight of the game on Austin Causey tonight. Can you talk about, through this playoff run, how Austin has kind of stood up and taken the opportunity to kind of keep the team in the game?
Yeah, Austin's honestly been brilliant. Throughout the whole season, always been a leader, always helping Stokes as well. I always see him, giving him confidence, pushing him in training, pushing all the guys, to be honest. And, when he gets his moment, he never shies away. He always gives everything he has. He made a lot of big saves today, had a lot of big moments. And again, you always can hear his leadership on and off the field. And it just helps. It just gives us a confidence booster to everybody.